Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. We spoke to Marquet in the last episode before he was killed by what appeared to be a doctor but was actually, I believe, an assassin. So we are going next to the museum. We're going to try and figure out if there's anything we can do to get our hands on this tripod now. So off to the museum we go. We've got the gem, we just need the tripod to be able to hopefully kick on and do whatever it is we need to do next. So let's head inside. Oh, already there's someone different here. Who's this? Is this the Lobineau guy?
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You
Yes.
want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Okay, so it is Lobineau. Excellent. Right, let's ask him some questions then. Let's start with this.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That's grim.
That explains the image of the hanged man.
True.
I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn. That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
Alright, let's ask about Pegram then.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
Okay.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Okay, well, let's ask more about the hanged man.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Might still be worth a look though, I guess. Let's ask him about the assassin.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, assassini, the assassin.
Okay, let's ask a bit more then.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
Right. Let's ask a bit more.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
It's interesting because it's not too dislike the story in the first Assassin's Creed game, is it? Obviously there's some key differences, but actually the whole Assassins and Templars thing is very much the basis of the entire series of the games. So let's ask about the tripod.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochmarn tripod? No.
Yep.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
That was a very half-assed attempt there, George.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
And also he met us literally like 2 minutes ago.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Well, maybe he can. I mean, can we trust this guy? I'm thinking probably we can.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman.
What difference does that make?
This friend, who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Oh, we're just going to tell him.
I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
I hope we can trust him, because we've just told him where the manuscript is.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
Okay, let's ask more. This is interesting stuff.
How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters.
A temple.
The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
I mean, he is a historian, isn't he?
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
So it's pretty likely from what we've uncovered so far. Have you seen this guy before?
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Good. That means he hasn't come here yet. Do you want to shake hands?
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
No one in this game wants to shake hands. Should we show him the gem? Let's show him the
What do you
gem.
make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Oh, they do.
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter.
Seems like we've already uncovered various things to do with them.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So, he's going to come to the house, right? Or to, Okay, it's a jerk. Look at me, look how much I know about the Knights Templar. Okay, so he knew about all of that. So, I guess we can... Wait, is there more? No, there's not. Okay. So, I guess we can potentially then go to... Is there a new location he gave us? Yeah, there is. Right, so let's go here then. Ooh, this place is nice. It's another cafe. That doesn't bode well, given what we've experienced so far at cafes in this game, does it? So there's a way up here. There's also something... Oh, the sewers. That does not make me comfortable, given the previous cafe and sewer situation. Let's talk to this guy.
Excuse me, officer.
Who are you?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon.
Does sound
Which
better.
would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Do you know anything about the Knights Templar?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
This board? Okay.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
This looks like the thing out of that
I'll be there.
that we had, doesn't it? So let's come over here. I am worried about this. It seems like a good location for Khan to pop up from. Oh, so there's two ways here. What does this say then? Let's look at this.
In French, English, and German, it read, in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Okay. Well, do we go up this way, or do we go up this way, or do they both lead to the same place, maybe? I know, so this leads inside. Oh no, maybe they do lead to the same place. Yeah, they do. Alright, well let's have a look around in here then. So this is some sort of church. What is this?
I didn't have time to sit around.
It's like an old crypt looking thing here. What's over here? It's another crypt, but it looks like we can look at this one. And there's a statue here. Okay, wow, there's a lot to look at in here. Let's look at this. Can't look at that one.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
Yeah. Alright, let's look out the window.
Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Yeah, this is like stained glass and this is just normal glass. Oh, there's like statues in the floor as well.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Right, let's come over here then. Right, so there's statues we can look at on the floor.
In comparison to its neighbor, it looked pretty plain.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something to do with this. Right, what are these guys on the floor?
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Yeah, heavy.
A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
So we've got 4 knights. We can only look at 2 of them. What's this about here? It looks like something in the hand.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
Ooh. Can we...
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
So can we...
Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church.
Okay.
Other than deported.
Yeah, true. Right, so... we're going to need that potentially for something then. Do we have anything... No, not really. Nothing that can help us out massively.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Okay, so... Maybe the guy...
I didn't have time to sit around.
Maybe the guy in the museum can shed a bit of light on this. He seems to know an awful lot about the Knights Templar, so... Perhaps he can explain this story to us here as well, maybe? Let's just make sure we haven't missed anything here. Maybe we need to know a bit more info before we come in here. It's possible, right? Let's see if we can get into here. The fact we can interact with this is a bit strange.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
No, but we do still have our little tool, don't we?
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing?
Going in the sewers?
Leave that cover alone. Now.
Ah,
Sorry, no harm intended.
he won't let us in. He will not let us in. We cut him off there as well. Can we maybe get rid
Hello
of him?
again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Okay, we can't ask him anything else. Do you want to shake hands?
Would you like to shake I stopped myself barely in time, electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Well, you never know. Might be useful. We still got that as well. I wonder if we're going to have to make another clay cast or something.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Alright then guys, well we're pretty much out of time, so I think what we'll do in the next one, we'll go back to the museum, see if we can speak to Lobineau about what's gone on here, a bit more about the history and see if there's anything we can do. Looks like we're going to have to take the end of that staff for something as well at some point, but we need to know why. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Terminally Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows and Lyle for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.